The news begins from the Green Chamber, where the House of Representatives has advanced a bill seeking Nigeria's return to a parliamentary system, with the proposal passing a second reading on Thursday. The bill, sponsored by House Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda and 59 others, aims to establish the office of the Prime Minister as head of government and the President as head of state. Lawmakers have argued that Nigeria's most productive era was during the First Republic's parliamentary system. In addition, the House has debated bills on electoral reforms, governance structures, and legislative oversight. Now, these include proposals to shorten pre-election petition timelines, regulate National Assembly suspensions, and empower lawmakers to summon the president and governors. A bill proposing state creation has also been discussed, with legislators facing a March 31st, 2025 deadline to submit requests for new states. Now, joining us to share insights on this is the public affairs analyst, Alester Wilcox. Hello, Alester. Thank you for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Now, looking at Nigeria's current economic challenges, how do you think that the transition to a parliamentary system will affect the cost of governance? And also, do you think that there's any evidence to support the claim of it being the less expensive in the long term?
The truth of the matter is that it's not that it's less expensive or more expensive in Nigeria. It depends on how you want to look at it. We practiced parliamentary system in the First Republic when we got independent, because we are fashioned after the British system of government, and we tried it. Well, I cannot for sure tell all that happened during that period, because I wasn't there. But we knew that men and women of more integrity were in government, and then the waste that we are seeing today, the profligacy that we see today, was not there, because it's like people were more respectful of resources. They were more, not as if there was no corruption, but they are more respectful of the resources of the country. And so they treated it with respect and with dignity. I mean, I saw some of the cars they were using in those days, and I understand that they don't have as much aid as we have today. You look at governors. Governors have all kinds of aids. Even local government chairmen, they will have as much as 100 SAs doing just like that. So it's all man-made. So if we move over to parliamentary, what is the guarantee that the profligacy will not still be there? So it's not something that anybody should say it is for economic reasons. If there is a need that we change our system of government, let's have a discussion around that, but don't bring in economic issues, because the occupiers of the offices are the ones too that are going to either destroy it or make it work.
All right, now
today, if we look at,
but apart from the economic angle, let's look of Nigeria's history of political instability, especially during the First Republic's parliamentary system. Are there specific mechanisms that we will need to implement if it passes, to ensure greater stability this time around?
Self-regulation is just the only thing. Look, there's nothing wrong with what we're operating today as a country. There's nothing wrong with the presidential system of government. Nothing. It is the operators. Regulation is just the only thing. Even though the Constitution have enough safeguards and regulations that will guide us, but how do we apply it when we start functioning? When we start functioning today, legislators are like gods, and then people see them as gods, and then they run to them for all kinds of requests and needs. Governors are emperors, the president is so powerful that he can do and undo. So it is all about self-regulation. If we see that the road we are traveling now is a wrong road, then it takes every one of us to say, okay, this road is wrong. Let us turn back and begin to go in the right direction. But By the time you say, okay, let's change course, and you say the same driver, the same operators, what is the guarantee you're going to get anything different? You know, there is no law that says legislators should have as much aids as they're having now, or that there should be so much corruption among the government. Well, what is killing us is the corruption element of our governance architecture. You know, that's what is killing us. That's the problem today. Not the what form we are doing, not how we are doing it. Because even if it's okay, let's be a parliamentary system, the whoever that is ruling will also find a way. Look at what happened in the National Assembly just last week with the issue of River State, what do you call it, state of emergency, pronounced by the president. Look at what happened in the Parliament. Shameful. It is stated that there must be 2/3 to approve. But what did they do? They created their own method and used the voice vote, clearly against what the Constitution said. So, and then there are opposition members in the Parliament, and then at the end of the day, we start hearing that dollars exchange hand. So even if you change the system today, so say let's go parliamentary. Parliamentary, yes, will give more representation because those who contest, like more people will be in Parliament, party leaders will be in Parliament. But again, does that guarantee the fact that you as Nigerian, we as Nigerians, will obey the tenets? Won't we go there and get corrupted? Won't we go there and become business as usual? Can we say truly we can predict what happened in the First Republic? It's not at this point, it's not possible.
Okay.
So I weep for this country, I weep for my country, and it's sad that we are seeing the country draining down in all respects, and those who are supposed to protect it are the same ones that are helping to diminish it. It's sad and very, very unfortunate.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lester, for your time and also for speaking to us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. May God bless Nigeria, and may God continue to protect our troops. Thank you.
In the meantime, the People's Democratic Party, the Coalition of United Political Parties, and the Social Democratic Party have condemned the House of Representatives' proposed bill to set an age limit of 60 for presidential and gubernatorial candidates in Nigeria. Now, the bill, which has passed its second reading, will disqualify figures like President Bola Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, and Peter Obi from contesting in 2027. Critics have argued that governance challenges stem from corruption and incompetence and not age. PDP's Timothy Osadolo has called the bill a misplaced priority, while CUP's Mark Adebayo insisted that leadership is about competence and not age. SDP's Rufus Ayenigba, however, acknowledged youth participation but emphasized experience and values. Meanwhile, opposition leaders urged lawmakers to focus on critical national issues instead of age restrictions in politics. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has denied claims that he received campaign funds from Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for the 2023 election. Atiku, the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate in 2023, dismissed the reports as a blatant lie from the pit of hell and a political hatchet job. His media team insisted that he has never met or had any dealings with Sanwo-Olu. Now, the statement also accused the ruling All Progressives Congress of using the allegations to discredit Atiku and remove Sanwo-Olu from office. Additionally, it has challenged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to publicly release its findings on the matter. Away from that, a group known as Campaign for Democracy, CD, has called on Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan to apologize for actions it describes as gross misconduct that have tarnished Nigeria's image internationally. CD criticized the suspended senator for engaging in a media campaign rather than addressing her suspension through legal and democratic channels. It also accused her of distorting facts and using allegations against the Senate president to gain public sympathy. The organization, however, commended the people of Kogi Central for initiating a recall process, stating that it will strengthen democracy and hold lawmakers accountable. Meanwhile, CD urged Nigerian lawyers to avoid politicizing national issues and emphasize the importance of respecting democratic institutions instead of resorting to international controversies that damages Nigeria's reputation. The political development in Rivers State has taken the spiritual dimension as women under the banner of Rivers Women Unite for SIM say that state requires supernatural intervention following the suspension of Governor Siminalayi Fubara. News Central's correspondent Biola Festus has more.
The sole administrator of Rivers State, Ibok Ete Ibas, had on Wednesday suspended all political appointees, including the chief of staff, commissioners, chairmen and members of all boards, councils of agencies, commissions, institutions, and parastatals. Consistent with the foregoing, women under the aegis of Rivers Women Unite for SIM feel overpowered by the federal might. Hence, they are turning to God for what they call the unusual intervention.
We are here to call the God we serve because God is the only one that answers prayer. We have nowhere to go. They should bring back our governor, His Excellency Siminalayi Joseph Fubara, the man that speaks peace in Rivers State, the only man that stands for the truth, the only man that said Rivers State will be peaceful and Rivers State money is for Rivers people.
Before the state of emergency declaration, these women were at this same venue for a Thanksgiving. But today, they are all adorned in black clothing. What has possibly changed?
This black we are wearing today is because we are angry, we are sorrowful, because our land is being intimidated. You know, we are being marginalized. They have meted injustice on us as a Rivers people. And so today we are praying, let the peace that passeth all understanding, that is only in the hand of God, still come down and overtake Rivers State.
According to them, they have been stripped of their rights as a people, insisting that there was never a cause for an alarm in the state.
Rivers State is peaceful. It has been peaceful all this while. And since it was removed, I as a pensioner have not been paid. My BP has started coming up again. Before now, it was okay. But my governor paid me my pension at when it is due. So with that suspension, we don't need it.
The judiciary is the last hope of the common man, they say. But for these women, the place of the judiciary has been taken. They are now seeking justice from the highest throne of justice, the Almighty God.
We believe that if you cannot get justice from where you expect to get justice, there's a king, a God that gives justice. And that is why we are here, to pray to that God that has been giving us justice since, to give us the justice we need.
Lawyers, judges are saying, ordinary people are saying what has happened in Rivers State should never have happened. That what began in 2023, in October, should never have been allowed to stand. So almost 2 years into a 4-year tenure, the people of Rivers State are still standing with the governor of Rivers State. We can't be wrong.
Rivers women are not alone in this trying time. Their sisters from the northern and western parts of Nigeria are in solidarity with them.
We are inside the pain. We are having the pain because the governor is a good man. He's carrying everybody along. It means well for people of Rivers State. In fact, we are all not happy. We are not happy. We pray Almighty Allah to bring him back, to finish his good work. He doesn't care where he comes from. This is the first time Muslim women and Christian women are joining together to pray.
Àwa ní agbègbè yìí láti wá ṣàdúrà fún Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Joseph, Governor of Rivers State. Torí àwa tá a jálejò, tá a jẹ́ Mùsùlùmí, Governor wa ó dá sí wa gan. Wọ́n ya Mùsùlùmí lọ́tọ̀, wọ́n ya Kristẹni lọ́tọ̀. A jọ ń ṣàṣepapọ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń ṣe àǹfààní tó yẹ kán ṣe fún wa.
Abin da yasa nake son shi ya dawo, Governor ɗinmu Siminalayi Fubara. Saboda yana ɗauke kowa da kowa ba ruwan shi da bambanci
gashi da aiki, gashi da tausayin mutane, kowa nashi ne, bai da damuwa. Da haka shin yasa muke son shi.
For these women, relenting is not an option until Fubara is returned the governor of Rivers State. In Port Harcourt, for News Central, Biola Festus.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has affirmed that Sharia panels are free to operate in the state, clarifying that he has no intention of challenging their constitutionality in court. Now speaking at the 2025 Iftar program in Ibadan, Makinde emphasized that Sharia panels can serve as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism, though courts remain the ultimate authority under the Constitution. He reiterated his commitment to religious harmony and warned against attempts to create division for political gain. His remarks follow reports that a Sharia panel has already begun operations in Oyo town. The governor, however, assured that his administration prioritizes unity and development over political conflicts. The event saw attendance from top government officials, religious leaders, and community representatives, highlighting broad support for his administration's policies. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll tell you how college queries Norse for unauthorized posting of First Lady's "Na Your Mama" viral video. Details of this and more after the break. Stay with us. To security matters, now students of tertiary schools in Ondo State on Thursday took to the streets of the capital, Akure, to press home their displeasure with what they described as a surge in abduction and crime in the state. Led by Rotimi Joshua, the Southwest chairman of National Association of Nigerian Students, the protest blocked major roads and disrupted traffic for several hours, accusing Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of failing to prioritize their safety. Now, they criticized the government's handling of student welfare, citing poor conditions in tertiary institutions, and demanded urgent government intervention to tackle insecurity. The protesters expressed concern about lack of student-friendly policies, particularly for those working or undergoing the industrial work experience. Now, sources say Ondo State Commissioner of Police Wilfred Alabi was reportedly resisted by the students when he attempted to disperse the protesters. Now, joining us to discuss more on this is a rights lawyer and political analyst, Alan Showore. Thank you so much for joining us on the news, Alan.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now, can you speak to us, on the security lapses that have led to this surge in kidnappings and also violent crimes affecting students in Ondo State?
Yeah, thank you. Issue of insecurity will not affect only students. Insecurity will affect everybody in the state. And when it happens like that, everybody is equally concerned, particularly government. Government at various levels, the federal government, the state government, and now we have local government chairman in Ondo State. These two should be concerned. So we commend the students for coming up to lend their voice to the need for government to prioritize security, which is what government is essentially meant for. So, in those days, we are proud that now the civic space is widening. People talk and government listen. So, it's welcoming. But let me reiterate that there is no recent incidents apart from what has happened about 2-3 weeks ago, where some people were attacking on their farmland in Akure North, and recorded increase in the number of kidnappers, victims. But the government has stepped up security arrangement. If you follow the news last week, the state security network codenamed Amatekun, we, in cooperation with other security agencies, arrested about 32 suspects who have been terrorizing the state from within the forest. So there's There has been a concerted effort by security agency to bring the situation to under normal control, and that is yielding a tremendous result.
All right,
we have to commend
Alan, you said 2 to 3 weeks. That's also quite recent, and you talked about the government, making concerted efforts. But the students, are still accusing the governor, of neglecting their welfare. So you're speaking in general terms now. But what is the state government, doing for the safety or to ensure the safety of the students, especially, and especially those undergoing industrial training in remote areas?
That's what I said. The moment the state is secure, see, don't let us isolate students. Everybody, there's nobody who should not be protected. Nobody. I even said we must measure our security consciousness even by property. We must protect even our animals within the state. So it is protection of lives and property. So nobody should be left vulnerable for kidnappers or attack of other farmers, other students. So the moment you make it holistic, everybody will be safe. But when you isolate it, then it becomes a problem. So the state government, we, in conjunction with all the security agency, are beefing up and stepping up to ensure that it is the state that should be safe. The entire state. On those areas, 18 local government. 18 local governments should be protected. About 5 million people are in Ondo State. The 5 million people should be protected, including their properties and animals. The moment you have missing animal, missing property, then the people are not safe. So we should not isolate it to one segment of the society or one demography. We'll have problems if we start by that.
Yeah, well, while it's a good thing, that, the government, the state government is actually stepping up to take care of everyone in the state. The reason why this has been brought to the fore now is due to the protest that the students, actually, came out to, do. And with past protests like, the February 2024 demonstration at Futa, leading to little change, according to the students. Do you think that student activism in Nigeria is being taken seriously by the authorities? I would love to hear your view as a human rights person.
Yeah, governors across Nigeria and Mr. President should take student activism seriously, because the moment you have students talking and government is listening, the problem is solved. You don't wait until or you say that what they are saying is not important. Our democracy is about people. You listen to people, a majority of people. And the moment the people gather together, either they are students, they are farmers, or they are teachers, or they are professionals, and they come together to say, oh, this is what is bothering us, this is what is disturbing us. Since it is a government of the people, it is important that government listen, attend to that worry, then you move on. If there are no issues to attend to, perhaps there won't be government. But since we have government, democracy as a matter of fact, and the people are coming to say one thing, whatever they want to say, either they are physically challenged, either whatever the demography of the society they belong to, it is important that the government listen to them. And student activism, well, we must take it serious. We encourage our students to be more aggressive, be more constructive in making genuine demands so that government can take account of that. When governors, president, or government generally listen to complaints from all angles, then you easily achieve good governance. It is sycophancy and praise singing that sometimes lead to bad governance.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, Alan, and also for speaking to us on this.
Thank you for having me.
And now to Delta State, where the government has reacted to a viral video involving some nursing students who were seen singing a song at an event in Asaba, the Delta State capital, contrary to the expectation of Senator Oluremi Tinubu, wife of Nigeria's president. Now, speaking to a select journalist in Asaba, The State Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Charles Anyogu, disclosed that the First Lady did not visit the School of Nursing in Agbo, contrary to the viral video. Anyogu, who blamed mischief makers, said the First Lady observed that nurses at the event had reservations regarding the distribution of medical kits, but she quickly apologized for the shortfall. In the same vein, the Delta State College of Nursing Sciences has issued a disciplinary query to student nurse Osato Edobo over a viral video recorded during the visit of First Lady Oluremi Tinubu to Delta State. A letter signed by Provost Rita Ogone has accused Edobo of posting an unauthorized video on social media, calling it a malicious act. The school has directed her to provide a written explanation within 24 hours. The video, widely shared online, shows nursing students rejecting the First Lady as their mother during an event in Asaba. Away from that, the burial service for late Pope Doyin Okupe, former presidential spokesperson to ex-presidents Olusegun Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan, is being held at Methodist Church, Akeson Road, Ikberuremo, his hometown in Ogun State. Burial rites began on Saturday, March 22nd, with a commendation service at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, City of David in Abuja.
I think it's one of these television stations in Lagos, and the anchor.
Correspondent Bernard Akede is on standby to give us more on this. Over to you, Bernard. We will be reconnecting with Bernard at a later time. Now, the Center for Democracy and Development has dismissed claims that it is calling for a state of emergency in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria. The pro-democracy group, while speaking to newsmen in Abuja, says that the publication being circulated across multiple platforms online is false and misleading. The executive director of the group, Dauda Garba, urged citizens to dismiss the viral report as fake news.
The article attributes statements to a group led by one Ibrahim Yakubu, who claims to represent the Center for Democracy and Development. While we fully respect the right of individuals and people to freedom of speech and association, as a respected think tank, we categorically state that this group is not in any way affiliated with the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD West Africa. CDD West Africa remains committed to the principles and values of democratic governance and thus rejects any attempts to misrepresent its stance. The impersonation is misleading and unacceptable as it misrepresents our mission and undermines public trust. We are considering legal and regulatory steps to address this issue while we engage with relevant authorities to protect our institutional identity.
Welcome back and thank you for staying. Now, suspected killers of a Kaduna-based Roman Catholic priest, Reverend Father Sylvester Okechukwu, have been arrested by troops of Operation Safe Haven. The media officer of Operation Safe Haven, Major Samson Zakom, who confirmed the development in Jos Plateau State, said the feat was recorded through intelligence gathering from members of the public. News Central's Chizoba Nyongwe completes the report.
Reverend Father Sylvester was allegedly kidnapped by Pateyeo and Douglas Henry, said to be living in the same house with him as at the time of the incident in Tachira area of Kaura local government area of Kaduna State. Upon an interview session with Douglas Henry, the suspected mastermind of the kidnap and murder of the priest, he acknowledged committing the crime.
Why did you kidnap the father?
I said, I need money. That is why. I asked them not to kill him. They insist and they killed him. But what I request, I said, just 200,000. I said, if we catch him, let them not kill him, so that they should leave him alive to come back.
So did you get the 200,000?
No, sir.
The media officer of Operation Safe Haven speaks further.
The suspects were arrested on the 25th of March 2025 following a raid on the prime suspect's hideout located at Ruga Settlement in Wasa PT Village in Lere local government area of Kaduna State. During preliminary investigation, the prime suspect, Pateyeo, 33 years old, confessed to have been contracted by one Douglas Henry, living in the same house with the slain priest, to kidnap him. Troops in a follow-up operation arrested Douglas Henry at Angwan, Seriki, Tachira in Kaura local government of the state. The arrested suspects are in custody undergoing further interrogation.
This latest arrest sums up to over 30 rescued kidnapped victims in recent times as the troops of Operation Safe Haven are sure of their continuous efforts in ensuring the safety of both lives and property of Nigerians within their joint operations areas. In Plateau State, for News Central, Chizoba Anyui.
And now we will connect with our senior correspondent, Bernard Akede, who is live at the burial service of late Doyin Okupe. Hello, Bernard.
For having me. We apologize for the break in transmission we had earlier. Like you rightly said, we are at the funeral ceremony of late Dr. Doyin Okupe, as we've been corrected, and not Okupe. We are at his hometown here in Iberu, where the funeral ceremony has taken place. The governor, the governor of Kogi State was here. He's giving a speech. Former Governor Benga Daniels was also here with family members and friends. And what's happening now is the procession of his remains into the vehicle that will eventually take the remains of the late politician and medical doctor to his final resting place. The interment will only be strictly attended by family members and by members of the clergy. Dr. Doyin Okupe was a medical doctor, very renowned medical doctor in Nigeria. He was one of the members of the NRC. NRC was one of the two major political parties back in 1993 alongside SDP, Social Democratic Party. Dr. Doyin Okupe also was an outstanding and one of the founding members of the Labour Party, which we know today as one of the strong forces of partisan democracy in Nigeria. He is remembered by wives, by children, by grandchildren, and of course family and friends. Now you are currently looking at the corpse of the late Dr. Doyin Okupe as it's being moved by MIC funeral homes into the vehicle that will eventually be taking him, as I mentioned earlier, to his final resting place. Also worthy of note, Dash, and if you're still with me, is that the current governor, while speaking about Dr. Doyin Okupe, he talked about being a personal or close relative of the late politician and the medical doctor. Dr. Dakwa also talked about growing up with the late politician, talked about his character and his behavior. He said that he was, while he was a stubborn politician, he was also a man of truth and honor, that his death will be a huge, or is a huge loss to the good people of Ogun State, not just the family members, but to entire people of Ogun State and of course Nigeria in general. Remember, I did mention that Dr. Doyin Okupe also, before his death, was a member of the Labour Party. And of course, besides here, there also are ceremonies for Lagos, which the Labour Party will be holding back in Lagos. We hope to be able to catch that as well. He will be laid to rest here in his hometown in Iferu in Ogun State. After that, we are told that there will be a reception for family members, friends, and of course all those who are attending. In front of the procession there, you can see his wives, children, and closest relatives as well.
Well, thank you so much, Bernard, for that. And may the soul of Dr. Doyin Okupe continue to rest in peace. Coming up after the break, Mali condemns violence against migrants deported from Mauritania. We'll tell you more in a moment. Stay with us. The news continues in West Africa, where Mali says it is outraged over violence suffered by its citizens deported by neighboring Mauritania and has demanded the violation of human rights must end. For several weeks, Mauritania has been throwing out migrants mostly from neighboring countries in West Africa like Senegal, Mali, Ivory Coast, and Guinea. The vast arid country on the Atlantic seaboard serves as a departure point for many African migrants seeking to reach Europe by sea. The authorities say their routine deportations target undocumented individuals, but the campaign has sparked an outcry in the region. The government said it calls on the Mauritanian authorities to show restraint and calls for an immediate cessation of violence against Malian nationals. South Africa's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Lamola, hosted a political and diplomatic consultations with Therese Kayinwamba Wagner, the Democratic Republic of the Congo's Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Francophonie. The discussions focus on reviewing bilateral cooperation between South Africa and the DRC, particularly commitments made during the 12th session of the South African DRC Binational Commission aimed at strengthening ties between both nations. News Central's Bongani Siziba has more.
Two nations gather, bound by history and a shared resolve. This is the 12th session of bilateral talks between South Africa and the Democratic Republic of Congo, nations united by their rich resources, diverse cultures, and a commitment to peace and development.
Our support for your country's territorial integrity and sovereignty remains solid and unwavering. We will not rest until the women and the children of the Eastern DRC are able to sleep without fear of any danger. It is for this reason that we support the strengthened mediation process as agreed during the recent joint East Africa Community and the SADC Summit.
Here, strong diplomatic relations have blossomed into collaboration in agriculture, energy, health, and beyond.
Indeed, constructive and fruitful because we have had the opportunity to look at the different efforts that were made by our predecessors, but also look ahead in terms of the potential that we have yet to seize and that has yet to materialize.
With the Democratic Republic of Congo grappling with conflict and instability, both countries recognize the importance of solidarity in overcoming these struggles.
We are in a situation where countless of lives have been lost in an indiscriminate manner. Because when the bombs fall, they do not look at which community you are from. And over 6,000 have been killed alone in Goma. And we want to find a way out of it. You mentioned the issue of M23 and the inclusion of M23 in peace talks. And I think that we have, despite the immense political cost, we have made the responsible choice as a government.
As allies, South Africa seeks to strengthen its support for stability through diplomatic and humanitarian efforts.
We support the outcomes of the East Africa Community and the SADC Summit with regards to the engagement of state actors and non-state actors in the conflict in the Eastern DRC. And we continue to call for all parties to allow that process to unfold and to cooperate with that process of engagement. And this includes the government of the DRC. It includes the government of Rwanda. It includes also all the non-state actors.
It is clear that both nations recognize their interdependence. Rising above the challenges, they are committed to enhancing bilateral relations, setting a precedent for unity in diversity. By prioritizing health, energy, and agriculture, among others, South Africa and the Democratic Republic of Congo are not just bridging the gaps, they are fostering communities capable of striving amidst adversity. In Pretoria, for News Central, Bongani Siziba.
In other news from around the world, a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck Myanmar and neighboring Thailand on Friday, causing extensive damage, particularly in Myanmar. The tremor, which hit northwest of the city of Sagaing, was followed by a 6.4 magnitude aftershock minutes later. In Myanmar's capital, Naypyidaw, the main hospital's emergency department was severely damaged, with victims being treated outside in a makeshift mass casualty area. Numerous injured people, some writhing in pain, were seen lying on gurneys as relatives offered support. The quake also caused the collapse of the Ava Bridge and severe road cracks. Now you're seeing live footage coming to you directly from Bangkok in Thailand of the magnitude of the 7.7 earthquake that happened earlier. That's all at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of our top stories. We told you that bill to return Nigeria to parliamentary system has killed second reading. We also told you that Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has backed Sharia panels as alternative dispute resolution. Finally, you heard that Mali has condemned violence against its migrants deported from Mauritania. Remember, you may send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube.